Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to Sparx's 2-key event, hosted by Joke. We're back once again with more round of 32 action. This time around we've got AstalFanBoy going up against Glitchy in what will hopefully be a pretty exciting match. This is one of the wider seed discrepancies we will have for this end of a pretty interesting block, and it looks like we're gonna jump right on into it here. It's gonna be a warm-up, and it looks like we're doing 4-key co-op by the looks of it. Interesting. Okay, I mean, it's a warm-up, so who really cares? As always, my name is Sparky, and I'll be doing a bit of a solo job here in the commentary booth as we make our way through this match. Hopefully it is going to be a bit of an interesting one here. I'm surprised they... Oh, it's not co-op, it's just a skin. I just realized it's just a skin. The middle lane, or there's a gap in the middle lane. So we're just playing 4-key. They've missed the assignment. They had one job. The good thing is this makes it look like it's 4 people playing 2-key. So if you really expand your brain a little bit, it does look like it's just 4 people playing 2-key. And really all 4-key is just 2 sets of 2-key. You're just asking both hands to do something different. So I guess it's allowable. I mean, it could be worse. They could have been playing 1-key, in which case we could have been making fun of them for missing all 4 past iterations of the 1-key tournaments, but alright. So taking a back seat here to talk about the seed positions of both these players. Looks like AstalFanBoy are seed 8 and Glitchy are seed 25, so bit of a discrepancy here between qualifier results, but thankfully we've rounded through the map get quote-unquote easier. Easier, of course, in those quotations, because who knows how to play 2-key at the end of the day. So it's basically left up to interpretation whether or not these players found the round of 32 maps easier. So we'll just wait and see. There are some maps that are quite a bit easier than the qualifiers. I look to like Rice 1, and even though we're adding SV here and it wasn't in the qualifiers, the SV chart isn't all that bad in the grand scheme of things. The SV gimmicks aren't the hardest to read through. LN1 is pretty simple to get through, so maybe we'll see some back and forth here, but I think Astal has a bit of an advantage going into this, and thankfully I think this is the only warm-up, so we'll get into the roles here. It looks like Glitchy stopped playing because they had personal matters to attend to, but thankfully they are back. The first roll comes out, 55 for Glitchy. We'll see if Astal rolls higher, and they do, 80 for them, so looks like Glitchy will be banning first. We'll see what they want to get rid of. I would imagine something like Speed could be a good option. Maybe Hybrid 1, if they feel like those maps are a bit too physical for themselves. But really anything is on the chopping block. And it looks like it is going to be Hybrid 1, so message got eaten. But I can relay that it was Hybrid 1. Unsurprising. A pretty good ban. Astal realizing there is SV in this pool and wastes 0 time getting rid of it. I imagine they did not realize it, so no need to sight read that. Much to Glitchy's dismay. I imagine they might have taken some time to practice that. But nevertheless, we are going to get into this match proper. No gimmicky picks left in the pool unless you count the Speed as a gimmick. And we're going to start with Rice 1. which I believe is the simplest map in this pool in terms of overall structure and density. So we'll have to wait and see how the players react to this one. Alrighty, we're gonna get right on into this. Loaded into this first map of this best of 7. First player to 4 points will see themselves moving on to the round of 16 in the winner's bracket. Loser not out of the tournament just yet. Just gonna need to make the run in that loser's bracket. Now looks like we have a tale of 2 different comfort levels. Glitchy hitting a little bit early to start things off, maybe just needing to get situated here, but because of that, taking a pretty decent amount of damage to their overall accuracy. Hovering in that S range still, 95% for them, and now falling below it. Gonna be in and around that A to S rank range. Guys need to fight their way through, but AstalFanBoy on the other side, able to hold on to a pretty pristine accuracy on their end, 99.94 at the moment, barely dropping 300s here and there. It'll be interesting to see what the overall count is as Glitchy finds the first drop in this match overall, but with half the map still left to go, about 45 seconds, it's pretty clear cut who is going to be winning this map unless Astal has a major issue here at the end. 90,000 points to the good as it stands. And still we continue on to the last quarter. Glitchy doing pretty good to recoup some of that accuracy. Does find a miss to undo some of the work that they had been putting in, but as we get through these last couple of gallops, there's really not a lot of tricks left up this map's sleeve, and with the last couple of nodes rating down here, it's going to be a very decisive 180,000 point gap, and AstalFanBoy wins the first point in this match. 22-300s, a V1SS on their side. Glitchy doing very well to stay above that S rank range, 816k. Pretty respectable score, but not going to be enough to win the point in this instance. And with that being said, it is going to be their pick. And it looks like Glitchy is going to go for LN1 here. I think the harder of the two LNs in terms of overall coordination, but still pretty reasonable to swing a good score on. Maybe hoping for some overholds or just some misreads. Alrighty, so getting on into the second map of this match, it is going to be LN1. And much stronger start for Glitchy this time around. Overholding just a little bit, those releases a little bit on the late side, but able to hold on to their FC to try and keep themselves in this map through the first quarter. Astal up above that 99% range, but not at that 99.9 mark we saw from the earlier Rice pick, as Glitchy finds the first drop in this map. Gonna help grow the advantage for Astal to about 35,000 points. And as we continue on, this might be a repeat of the first map where the ball is pretty firmly in AstalFanBoy's court. And there's really not a lot that Glitchy can do about it, but still doing pretty good, able to recover from that earlier drop, about to get back up at that 400 combo cap. And some of these 3-0 gallops going into the double transition between the two hands. Pretty tricky to get through. The hardest burst in the song coming up here. And handled perfectly well going into the syncopated section. The next 1-6 burst comes through, and both players navigating it very well. A much stronger performance, a much more convincing performance from Glitchy to try and keep themselves in this. But as I mentioned earlier, I mean, the accuracy that comes to between the two players and the fact that Astal's still holding on to the FC, there's really not a lot they can do, but it can give a little bit of confidence knowing that they're not getting completely blown out of the water. It's just, I mean, there's a reason they qualified at the positions that they were at. And this is a very commendable performance as AstalFanBoy picks up the first break point in this match to make it 2-0. 985k, nearly another V1SS. Only 8 200s to their name. The singular drop from Glitchy, but damage is already done. And AstalFanBoy not wasting any time. Going into Hybrid 1, which was banned. Trying to pick the banned map. Strike the Fear of God into Glitchy. Playing the map that they wanted to get rid of. But no, they actually meant Hybrid 2. So we're going to go into Niji here. So seeing a little bit of everything here. Rice 1, LN 1. Would have seen Hybrid 1. We would continue that trend. But unfortunately it was banned. We're going to go into Hybrid 2 instead as an alternative. But all three categories being represented through the first three picks. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any SV, but that would have been the cherry on top of this cake that both these players are building. So this map, Hybrid 2, definitely a little bit easier to play through than Hybrid 1. I think the general consensus is that Hybrid 1 is the de facto hardest map in this pool outside of the tiebreaker. Some people might debate that, but at least in terms of the band proficiency, it has been picking up a lot more of the attention through the early goings of this round of 32 weekend. But as the players get through this, it feels like Glitchy has really been growing into this match. The accuracy and the overall confidence in their play is starting to grow here going into the second third. Now above that 97 range. AstalFanBoy though still locking it down. 99.8 this time around. Able to have a bit of a stronger showing on this hybrid than they did on the LN, and that's because the LN performance was already really good, and Glitchy finds the first drop. And now you're going to start to see the lead begin to balloon even further in favor of AstalFanBoy as we continue on here. 57,000 points and climbing. But Glitchy's still able to hold on to that 97% range. Just needs to get back on the 400 combo cap, start getting full credit for their judgments. But as we make our way into the last quarter here, Astal with a 99.9. Not really a lot anybody would be able to do in this particular situation. And it looks like it's going to be another point going their way as the last couple of notes come through here. A couple of holds. And easy goings for them. 3-0 to start this match off. Already on a match point situation. Another V1SS 61-300. As we wait to see what Glitchy's pick is going to be. I mean, there's very little anybody in this tournament would be able to do against a score like that. So, I mean, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. Okay, fine. You deserve that one. And just kind of kind of go next. But fortunately, it is what it is. And Glitchy's gonna need to find a pick to try and scratch the armor. That is AstalFanBoy's performances here. Glitchy asking to those that may not know AstalFanBoy, Snow, colloquially known to a lot of folks in the 4K community. So, Glitchy asking Snow what their best map is, and they don't know. They can kind of just play everything, so there really isn't a good answer to that. And Glitchy, being left to their own devices, decides to go for LN2. So, sweeping that category here. A little bit more straightforward in terms of pattern density. Not really doing anything more than be 1/4 is your hardest snap to read through on some of these structures, but let's just see how they do. They've been getting better as this match has gone along. When they were barely scraping through onto an S rank to being in the mid 97 range on one of the harder maps in this pool. There's stuff to grow on here. That 25th seeding is a little bit deceptive for those that might be facing them later on in this tournament, as Glitchy finds the first drop. Again, Astal just epitome of consistency. Picks up a couple of 200s. That's probably the only real blemish on their record. A 200 is the worst judgment that they have dropped so far this match. But already a third of the way through the map. About a full 3% accuracy discrepancy. The lead already 50,000 points in favor of AstalFanBoy. That miss not doing Glitchy any favors as we continue on into the back half now. Only about 40 seconds left in the chart. And as I mentioned in that first pick, when we went through Cave Story, unless something catastrophic happens to AstalFanBoy, this one is as good as done and dusted. AstalFanBoy, can they pull off the 990k score? They're on the cusp of about 100% away from locking that in and flirting with it. It might be a 989, 800 at this pace, but starting to climb up above it. If they don't drop a 200, this could very well be a 990k score. Glitchy able to get back up to 97% range, but it is not going to be enough. No one gets the 990k, the 4th point, and the match. 2 200s to their name on another impeccable performance. And they're going to knock Glitchy down into that loser's bracket. Very well played by both players. Hopefully they had fun playing through this match. Always happy to see players make it on time for their matches. And we can put on a show for you all. Commentators, I got bullied. That is your own fault. That's all I can say about that. But hey, you showed up. That's half the battle. But as it stands, AstalFanBoy going to be moving on to the round of 16 winners bracket. And we're starting to see a bit of a clearer picture here as to how that upper bracket is going to look like. It looks like they're going to be playing against that no-name boy next weekend. So our second matchup already solidified here. And it looks like Prongo is going to be playing Glitchy next round. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of these matches go as we make our way through the rest of round of 32. I believe we are now officially halfway done with the weekend. We're going to take a bit of a break here, and we'll be back at 11:30 UTC. It's going to be Dragon versus Murtaj to see who will be advancing to that round of 16 winners bracket. Afterwards, we have a pretty sizable block. I won't go through all the names to spare you guys trouble, but rest assured, once 11:30 comes around, it's going to be non-stop action, so you do not want to miss it. But until then, we'll catch you guys later.